Most people drift past important dates without noticing, but every so often a day comes that isn't just another square on a calendar. It's a turning point. September 20 will not magically change your life. It will expose where you stand. For some, it will feel like an ending, for others like a beginning. Shi Heng calls these threshold moments days when your discipline and self-awareness determine whether you cross into a higher version of yourself or slide back into the old one. This is not fear mongering, it's preparation. When you understand how to meet such days, you stop being a victim of events and start becoming the architect of them. In the next few minutes, you'll learn 6 inner shifts that will help you use September 20 as a launch pad instead of a trapdoor. If you've been tired of repeating the same patterns, this is your signal to wake up and move. The first step in turning September 20 into a breakthrough is recognizing it as a threshold. Most people sleepwalk through their lives waiting for a big sign, while ignoring the small daily signals. Thresholds are rarely dramatic. They are subtle invitations. Shi Heng teaches that the day you notice a pattern is already the day of change. Spend the days leading up to September 20 observing yourself. What emotions are on repeat? What habits have you promised to break but haven't? Write them down. This is not about shame, it's about data. When you see the cycle, you loosen its grip. Next, set a small but deliberate intention for September 20. It could be as simple as waking without your phone, speaking your truth, or taking a step toward a long, delayed goal. By naming and preparing, you turn an ordinary date into a ritual of transformation. Recognition turns a day on the calendar into a door. The question is, will you walk through it or walk past it? Transformation isn't only about adding new habits. It's about releasing what you've outgrown. September 20 can be a clean slate if you treat it that way. Start by looking honestly at the habits, people, and stories you've been carrying that drain your energy. Shi Heng says, when the cup is full of stale water, no new tea can enter. Before this day arrives, practice letting go. This may mean unsubscribing from toxic news, ending a draining conversation pattern, or forgiving yourself for a past mistake. You don't have to fix everything at once. Simply choose one burden you'll set down. Doing this creates a vacuum for fresh strength to enter. Write a short letter to yourself releasing this weight. On September 20, read it out loud and burn or tear it up. The act signals to your nervous system that the past chapter is closing. Without release, change becomes another layer of clutter. With release, you open a clean space for new energy to rise. When the world shakes, only what's rooted survives. Shi Heng calls this your inner core, the mix of discipline, breath, and self-trust you cultivate daily. You don't strengthen your core on the big day. You do it in the small, unseen moments leading up to it. In the week before September 20, choose one core practice to anchor you. It could be 15 minutes of Shi Heng-style standing meditation, slow breathing before bed, or a morning walk in silence. These practices build stability so you're not swayed by external noise. As you practice, repeat a grounding phrase such as, "I meet life awake." The goal is not perfection but presence. When September 20 comes, you'll feel a calm alertness rather than anxious excitement. People around you may still be reactive, but you'll stand like a tree in wind, aware, flexible, unbroken. This stability allows you to make wise decisions when opportunities or challenges appear. A powerful date is meaningless if you're pointed in the wrong direction. Before September 20, take time to clarify what you truly want, not what others expect, not what fear dictates, but what feels like your authentic path. Use this simple reflection. If I keep living today's habits for the next 5 years, where will I end up? If the answer excites you, accelerate. If it scares you, pivot. Shi Heng often reminds students that small, steady pivots transform a life faster than random giant leaps. On September 20, wake up early and spend a few minutes visualizing your future self. See her or him walking through that day with clarity, making one decisive move that honors your real path. It could be sending an application, declining an old pattern, or starting a project you've postponed. The act of aligning turns the day into a compass point that will guide you for months. Nothing changes until you move. Knowledge without action is just another form of procrastination. Shi Heng teaches that when a door opens, you must walk through before it closes. September 20 is your practice ground for decisive action. Choose one meaningful action ahead of time. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Even a single phone call, a workout, or a clear no can signal to your brain that you're now a person who moves. The key is to act without overthinking. When fear arises, take one slow breath and then step forward anyway. This builds what Shaolin tradition calls courage in motion, the ability to carry your fear instead of being carried by it. After you act, pause to notice the surge of energy and relief. That feeling is your nervous system rewiring itself. By taking deliberate action on September 20, you teach yourself that you are capable of moving first and figuring out the rest later. A single day can open a door, but you must anchor the new state or you'll drift back. September 20 should become a launch pad, not a one-day high. Shi Heng advises creating an anchor ritual, a simple practice to remind you of who you became that day. This could be writing 3 sentences in a journal every evening about how you showed up, or placing a small stone on your desk to symbolize your decision. Whenever you see or touch it, you recall the new you. Anchors work because they link a physical cue with an inner state. Share your commitment with one trusted person who will hold you accountable, not to brag, but to solidify your identity. The more you repeat your new behavior in the days after September 20, the more it becomes your baseline. This is how a single day becomes a turning point instead of a forgotten event. You've just walked through the blueprint for using September 20 as a threshold instead of another day. Recognize the moment, release the old, strengthen your core, align with your real direction, act without hesitation, and anchor the shift. These are not theories, they are practical steps rooted in Shaolin wisdom. The date itself has no magic. You are the magic. When preparation meets opportunity, what looks like destiny appears. Don't wait for life to change you. Meet September 20 awake and change your life yourself.